RingVille episode, Scarlett Meidan. Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Kevin Herrera Sanchez, and today I'm sitting with someone who is formerly part of HOGPD, right?
I would say I'm still.
You're still in?
I'm like the only one left.
Okay,
in
so you are
HOGPD.
now HOGPD.
I am HOGPD.
There you go. Please welcome Scarlett Meidan. How's it going?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good myself. Not too bad.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, absolutely. I remember watching you. I was like, oh, yep, I definitely want to talk to you. Just listen more to what you have to say. Because you're trained by Amazing Red, right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, the Amazing Red. Oh my
Yeah.
God, he's like the most amazing human.
Mhm.
Honestly, he's such a father figure. He was the first one to actually see the potential in me.
Okay.
And I remember when I first joined, I came to the States just for 3 months,
Mhm.
solely for that.
Yeah.
Solely to come to House of Glory, see if pro wrestling is something that I can do. And I had a little bit of MMA background before that. So when he put me in the ring and started giving me more and more to do, for someone who just started, he was so impressed, and he was
Mhm.
I know it's not gonna get to her head, but everything I put in front of her, she takes with both hands, and she does it to the best of her abilities. And he was the first person who truly believed in me.
Mhm.
And I was, he's so smart. He
Yeah.
knows this business, better than anyone.
Right.
He's really done it all, and just having him there
Mhm.
at my corner is incredible.
Yeah, no, the amount of influence he has just in the industry itself
Oh yeah.
is insane. The people he's trained, I know whenever Mercedes Monet is in New York, she
Yes.
goes to train with him, the same person that's training you.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
She was the reason I found House of Glory.
Oh, really?
In the first place, when
Mhm.
she came and they posted a video of her training there. It was right about the time where I was looking for a wrestling school to come to.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it's a sign. There's no way, I'm looking for a wrestling school in the same week, she
Mhm.
drops this.
Right.
And then she showed up one time when I was there, and it was crazy. She's so nice, and
Mhm.
she's so professional. It's
Yeah.
it's just so natural to her.
Mhm.
You look at her and you're like, she's a wrestler,
Yeah.
even in just without makeup,
Mhm.
just gym clothes, not her gear or anything like that, but she's a wrestler. And we were doing this workout and stuff like that, and we were in two lines, and no one was next to her.
Mhm.
And then I remember Red being no one's gonna be in front of Mercedes.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was right next to it, and I was scooching right in front of her.
Uh-huh.
And I was there's no way I'm missing that. So
Yeah.
we just did burpees to right in front of each other. I was I'm gonna beat you. I remember saying that to myself, I'm gonna beat a WWE superstar.
Yeah.
Beat a WWE superstar. But she was so nice. She was
Mhm.
so nice. Yeah, she's amazing.
And I know it's like that just in House of Glory, where it's people who work all over the industry come in for
Yeah.
shows, right? I know Malachi Black's been there, Will Ospreay,
Yeah.
Homicide. I know Santana right now is the world champion, right? So it's what's it like having people who have been doing this for years come in and just sharing a locker room with them?
It's incredible. It feels real
Mhm.
when they're there, because
Yeah.
you're oh, I'm next to them,
Mhm.
so where you're shooting. It's not something that is unreachable, they're right
Yeah.
there, so
Yeah.
it gives you more hope for the
Mhm.
future, because okay, I can do this, they're right there, I can do this. And then low key was one of the guys that actually sat down with me and
Mhm.
just gave me knowledge, and just all the gems that he could just give. And he's also an amazing person.
Mhm.
Yeah, so watching them up close
Yeah.
is, you can't
Mhm.
beat that.
Right. And then you said you were looking for a school in
Right.
New York.
Yeah.
What made you want to look for a school?
So as a kid, as
Uh-huh.
a young kid, I started watching wrestling with my cousin.
Mhm.
He had one of those old Undertaker DVDs,
Oh, okay.
and we would just watch it. Every time I went to his house, we would just watch the same DVD. And I would collect like all the action figures, and like I had like posters in my room, and like I had the belt, like the spinning belt, and stuff like that. And
the
like
spinner belt?
Yeah. Like the really cheap one, like the kids one, not the not the fancy like $300 one. But and I remember being like, oh my God, like they're superheroes. Like they're not real people, but like it's so amazing because like, you know, like on one hand I was holding like an action figure of like Rey Mysterio, and on the other hand it was like Power Rangers. So it's like they're not real people. But then like growing up, I was like, I kind of like stepped away from like watching wrestling, you know, as every teenage does, unfortunately. But and then around my 20s, I started watching again, and then like, you know, like watching it from like a grown-up's eye, it was like, wait a minute, they're actually real people. And then it was like, I want to do this. Like I actually want to do this. And then I remember going to the living room, sitting with my mom and my dad, and I was like, I want to be a pro wrestler. And like, I remember my dad starting laughing. My mom looked at me. She was like, what? What? And, but then I started working out every single day. Like every day I started working out. My mom is she's a personal trainer at the gym. So like I would wake up with her and like go to the gym with her. And like, she saw how invested I was and how serious I was about it. And then we were like, okay, let's find something for you to like start with that like fighting, you know, like energy and stuff like that, and look for something that will prepare me for pro wrestling. And then we found MMA, which I did for about a year. And I advanced really, really quickly, again, because I took it very, very seriously. I did like 4 trainings a week, and then in and out of the gym. So it was like, I went to the gym in the morning, MMA training, and then back to the gym, and like just like that. It was crazy. And then I was like ready to like try it out. I was ready to go to New York, try wrestling, and I fell in love with the sport.
So you like fully jumped into like MMA or training, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, were you similar when it came to wrestling? You just like fully went in?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I never wanted to look at myself as like the new guy or like the new girl. Like I never wanted to be like the, you know, like the beginner, like the one that doesn't know how to do things. Because like a lot of the basics are very similar to MMA.
Oh, interesting.
So it really, really helped me. Like all the rolls, bumps, because of judo, like I knew how to bump. And I remember after those 3 months, I went back home and I went back to like MMA trainings, and like their bumps are like softer. But then I started doing like wrestling bumps, and everyone was looking at me like, why is she literally falling on the floor right now? And I was like, it's how you bump, guys. Like, get with it. This is how you bump. But it was crazy. So I always try to have no fear, you know, even though like top rope stuff is scary, and like falling is scary, and getting lifted up is scary, but you know, I try to put that behind, because I was like, this is what I wanted to do. Like I left everything for 3 months just to do this, so like I have to do that. And then eventually like moving here was like the big like, okay, this is full power.
Because
like,
not only was like, it's like, okay, this is something completely new, right? You're doing, but you also moved here to do this. Yeah. Like you fully were 100% in.
Yeah. I left like a very stable career behind. I was like a videographer for 10 years. Like I had stuff out. I was working with clients and stuff like that. But then I was like, no, like I can always go back to that. Right. But wrestling, like it's now or never. Right. Kind of thing. So, because the sooner you start, the easier it is.
Your body can take.
Yeah, because your body, you know, like the back hurts, and you know, like you sleep weird, and then you wake up like this, and I'm like, oh, my neck. But yeah, starting early-ish was good for me. So yeah.
What are some things that you picked up on in MMA? Like maybe not even like the moves, like because you said they helped with bumping, right? But like whatever, like the mindsets of MMA that really helped you.
So besides the moves, obviously, like learning how to kick right and how to punch right and how to defend yourself, and my favorite was like doing jujitsu. So it was like a lot of groundwork, which helped me a lot in chaining later on. I think the main thing was discipline.
Discipline?
Yeah. Having that sensei, you know, having that person who teaches you how to do things because they want to teach you how to do things, because they want you to be better and they want to like, you know, pass their knowledge. You know, they're super smart. Like a person doesn't just become a trainer. Like they know what they're doing. And they have that experience that they want to pass on to their students. So I remember, I still sometimes do it. I should do it more. Back in my MMA dojo, we would bow before we entered the room. And we kind of do the same in wrestling. So in House of Glory Wrestling School, we have a rule where before we enter the ring for the first time in the day, we have to wipe our feet. We have to. It's just showing respect to the craft, showing respect to the ring, showing respect to other people you were in the ring with. And it was, so it just showed me a lot of discipline, a lot of like being aware of my body, you know, like knowing how to do things the right way to not hurt myself, to not hurt other people.
What was the moment that brought you back to wrestling when you started watching again?
Oh, this is gonna be so embarrassing. Okay, so me and my mom would always watch American Ninja Warrior.
Okay.
And we watched one of the season finales, and Casey Catanzaro,
yes,
was like, "This is my last one. I just got signed by WWE," and that was the moment I was like, "Wait, WWE is still a thing." Yeah. And I started watching it a lot, like a lot. Like I tried to like catch up on everything that happened, you know, like checking out who's like champion, who's holding titles, who are champions, who are like gone, who's still there. And then it was around the same time where the Evolution pay-per-view came out, the all-women's pay-per-view, which was incredible. And I remember seeing that, and I was like, okay, now is the time to be a woman in professional wrestling.
And that was, what, 2018, I believe?
That was,
I think that was after Ronda made her debut at WrestleMania.
Yes.
That pay-per-view had the great match of, I believe it was Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair in a last woman standing match. Yes. That was one of the best matches of that year, for sure. So good. And I think it was main evented by Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. That was a good show. It's a shame they never did another one.
I know. It's really upsetting. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I'm giving them, you know, the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, right. We're going to do it one day.
Right. Yeah, one day.
One day.
Who knows? Maybe you're on it.
Hopefully.
There you go. What has your time at House of Glory been like?
My time at House of Glory. You mean the shows or the school?
The shows.
The shows.
Yeah.
The shows are incredible. The shows, there's so much production value in how House of Glory does their shows, with lights, with the videos, with the promos that we used to do, and just the whole package, you know, like I truly believe like they're one of the best indie promotions out there right now. Yep. Like in terms of production, in terms of like crowd engagement, like every show is sold out. Yeah. Thousands of people. And, you know, it's incredible being on that stage and just absorbing all of it and learning how to do it right to like, it's my moment there. And so seeing it up close and helping out with the show, you know, like with the ring and building the ring and breaking it down and just helping with everything, you know, whether it's like helping the girls like call their matches or, you know, bringing someone water, you know, like making sure like, hey, do you need something? And it's just like, you know, it helps a lot. So for me, like later on, I know how to like, when I'm outside doing other indie shows, like I'm like, oh, okay. Like I already know what to do because I have that House of Glory experience.
Right. Yeah. Right. What was your time like in HOGPD? Or, well, because technically you're the only one now. You're the one. Like, what was it like working with Sweet Cheeks?
Oh my God. Joey is incredible. He's like a big brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's incredible. We train a lot together. Mostly like in my first days there, like I remember getting a lot of help from him and from James.
Yeah.
They both helped me a lot. That's why like when we built House of Glory, police department, HOGPD, it was very like it was very natural because like we all knew each other. We were all very, very close, and you know, filming all the promos was really, really fun. We wanted to make it feel like a TV show. We wanted to make it feel like a movie. We wanted the crowd to be engaged, and they were.
Yeah.
They really were. And you know, Joey decided that he wants to be Sweet Cheeks and not, you know, and not Officer. And James decided that he's done. So I'm carrying the HOGPD badge around and trying to like, you know, bring good name to it, and do what I can in the meantime until I find something else myself, you know?
Right, that's true. What was it like filming those like segments where you were outside of the ring? Because I saw one where you were chasing down Don J. Armani in the street, and it was like this whole like actual production where it's like there was like stunts on top of a car, like running in the middle of the road. What was that like?
It was incredible. It was so fun. Me and Jay are very close as well. He's a very good friend. So when he came up to me and was like, "Hey, can you help me out with this promo?" I was like, "Absolutely, but you got to make me look good. Like I can't just be like, you know, just swing and miss. Like we have to make it look cool. Like we have to make it look like, you know, like because I watch a lot of like, you know, FBI, SWAT, NCIS, Law and Order, like all those shows. Like I watch them like daily. So when it came to us doing that, I was like, he was like, "Yeah, you got to hit me with a car," and I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Are you sure? Like, are you sure you want me to hit? Like, whose car? What? Okay, sure." So that was fun. We did that take a few times. Actually.
You were like, "Oh no, I messed up. Let me do it again."
Yeah, let's make the timing like more accurate. But it was really, really fun. I hated the running part. We had to run so much, and I hate running. He also hated running. We were just like, just running, you know. But it was super fun. It was really funny because like it looks very illegal until you see a camera with you, you know. So people would like they like stopped and they were like, "What is going on?" Like I literally hit the man with my car, and it was like, "Oh, there's a camera, okay." And then people just like came up to us and was like, "Yo, where can we watch this?" And like, "Oh my God, I'm in the film industry. Like, let me get you guys' like information." I was like, "Okay, like." Let's do more stuff outside.
No, absolutely.
But it was really fun. It was really amazing. I'm so happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, because like as a kid, that was like one of my favorite things in wrestling when they took it outside of the ring, where it's like I know like the most famous one is Stone Cold and Booker T in the supermarket in Bakersfield. It's that's like iconic to this day. It's like like stuff like that, and they kind of stopped doing it. I wish they would do it more.
I think they're getting to it now.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Rock and Cody?
Oh yeah,
that was intense.
That was
I was
very
like,
intense.
kind of felt uncomfortable
afterwards,
and then I saw like other videos like after they like finished rolling, like The Rock's like, "No,
He's
like
still,
this is real. Like this is."
He keep hitting with the belt.
I'm like, so maybe like their deal with Netflix is gonna be, you know, taking them to that place again.
Right, because I know AJ Styles and LA Knight just did something similar where LA Knight went to his house and it looked like it was on a show from like Cops. That's how it looked like that way of filming. I was like, oh.
Yeah, with the cop like chest
with
cam.
exactly.
It was so cool, and like the dash cam and stuff. Yeah, and I think Rhea and Dom did the same with like the Valentine's Day they did, where like they just and Rey Mysterio's hilarious. Yeah,
absolutely.
So funny.
So, does your experience in working in media, do you bring that like, hey, look, what if we try this, or what if we do this a different way? Do you ever see yourself kind of stepping into more of a creative role backstage?
Absolutely. I remember even in like the HOGPD promos that we did, like the videographer that we worked with was very like, it was very give and take. Like I would give him suggestions. Like I did try to be like the talent and not, you know, like not step into that role, but like when we did the promo with J. Armani, I had a lot of like input and stuff like that. I was like, oh, what if we film like from the inside of the car, like with the side mirror shot was that.
Oh, yes.
Like I helped him with that, and you know, like adjusting the mirror and like telling him like, oh, maybe from this angle, and there's like a lot of stuff. So it was so it's like maybe we'll do this shot, this angle and stuff like that. So he was very like he was very willing to like get that advice and stuff, and I think in the back of my mind it helps me a lot with doing it, you know, because like I know what the editor would like to receive, and I know what the photographer would like to receive, and all that stuff, so it helps a lot.
No, it's like it's just tremendous, because you were thinking about it from a production aspect where it's like, oh, this shot is interesting, like making a shot list right there on the spot, like, oh no, let's try this. That's wow. So would you ever be open to maybe working in that field as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love filming wrestling as well, and editing matches for friends and for myself. For the latest LPW show that we have for Legacy Pro Wrestling, which is like our student showcase for House of Glory, we arrived there and then we're like, oh, our videographer is in Japan right now, like wrestling, which is incredible. Like I'm super proud of him, but like no one kind of like picked up on the fact that he's not going to be there. Right. So I remember calling my partner. I was like, hey, bring my cameras and like the tripods and everything, because like we need to film this. Because I was like, there's no like, and it was kind of selfish of me because I was like, there's no way I'm doing this match and it's not filmed. You know, I was like, there's
like, I'm gonna be on
there's
camera.
No way there's like this much production, because like even for LPW, like we do some, like not half production, but like we still have like the lights and like the sound, and it looks good. And I was like, there's no way like I'm doing this match and there's nothing to show for, you know. So I was like, get the cameras, and then obviously like being able to help my friends, because like we all train together, so like we're all, you know, like we're all tight, we're a family. So being able to like film the entire show, and then, you know, like eventually editing it, and so we can put it out there. So absolutely. I mean, if I end up, God forbid, injured or something like that, you know, like I still have that, you know, like what was once plan A is now plan B or C, and now I'm like trying to focus on wrestling.
There's a video on your Instagram, and it's pinned. It's the first one you go and see. It's the first one you see when you click on your profile. It's Carlos Ramirez giving you a gnarly choke slam. Like, you get folded in half. Some call it a quesadilla, some call it the lawn chair. An omelet?
And it was. So I gotta say, it was very safe. I was not injured at all. It was just like the impact was like crazy. And it's funny because the angle of that, there we go, like I'm a videographer again, but the angle where that video was shot, the ramp to the ring kind of hides the mat itself. So it looks like I'm hitting my head and like everything hits, where it was like super safe. Like it was all upper back. It was, but I remember that moment, like when it happened, like it was crazy. And then I was like, I gotta put it out there. Like I have to put it out there. It has to be on the internet. It's super funny. And then I found it was, and I was like, it fits so well.
No, adding the All-Star Smash Mouth song was
and it got so much views. It has like 750,000 views. Which is insane. I was like, wait, am I a star?
Right? Like,
but then it was just that, and I was like, because it's funny. And like, people remind me of that very often, and you know, when it happens to someone else in the ring, it's like, oh, you pulled the Scarlett, you know. It's like oh, you got pulled. And then everyone rewatches the video. But
you pulled the Scarlett is the thing.
You pulled the Scarlett, it's just lawn chair.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's so funny. But
what are some goals you have for yourself?
I think so. Some goals, I would say, definitely winning a championship. It doesn't have to be House of Glory Women's Championship, but I think this year I want to finish with at least one belt.
One
around my
belt?
waist. I would love to have a championship match at House of Glory. I don't have to win. I just want to have
Right.
that like moment.
Because
if
it's
I
showing
win,
the
then-
progression, right?
Yeah, for me, it's that, you know. And yeah, so having a title for sure. Traveling more, you know, having more and more bookings and promotions.
Road
to be-
experience.
Yeah, just that road experience and be able to like go on the road with my friends.
Yeah.
You know, like I see all of them doing so well, and I'm super super proud of them, and I just want to be like there with them.
Right.
You know, and they're like, come on, like, we need you there. We need more girls. We need more girls, and it's like, I want to, and it's like, you know, it's coming. Like I'm building something new right now. It's in the works, so like hopefully like summertime is gonna be it's gonna be out
Busy.
there. It's gonna be crazy.
Nice. What would some promotions you would like to work at?
Ooh, some promotions that I would like to work at. Well, I have a match coming up April 13th at Victory Pro Wrestling, which I'm super super excited about. It's an amazing promotion. I would love to work at NYWC again. Again, amazing promotion. They were super, super nice when I went there. I would love to do, oh goodness. I mean, WWE, you know? No, I'm kidding. I mean,
no, you can throw that out
but
there,
not.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would love to get signed. I would love to work for ROH, Ring of Honor for sure. TNA, you know?
TNA's been killing it.
Yeah, they have been, ever since they came back as TNA, it's like, yes. It feels right again. The world is right.
But what's the saying that's been going around? The feeling is restored.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, but honestly, any promotion, I'm down to work. So
all over.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sitting down with me. It
Thank
was
you so much for
such a
having me.
pleasure talking with you.
Yes,
Right?
same.
Thank you, everyone. Until next time. Goodbye.